News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
The governor's bill to expand Medicaid finally has a date with the legislature. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Wednesday, February 18th, 2015, Ash Wednesday. Right now, clear, 23 degrees in Missoula. Our newscast this morning is sponsored by Dig It Excavating, bringing 30 years of excavation excellence to every job. Call 214-4292. The governor's bill to expand Medicaid to 70,000 low-income Montanans finally has a date now with the Legislative Committee. Democratic Representative Pat Noonan of Ramsey will present House Bill 249 on March 6th before the House Human Services Committee. Democratic Governor Steve Bullock proposed the expansion bill back in January, saying Montana must make health insurance available for those who struggle to make ends meet. The Republican-led legislature rejected Bullock's expansion proposal back in 2013, saying they don't trust federal promises to continue to pay most of those costs. Republican lawmakers this session are giving the bill a chilly reception. They've countered with 3 bills that would expand Medicaid to far fewer people. The man accused of starting a fire in his room at the Motel 6 on East Broadway on Sunday appeared in Missoula Justice Court yesterday. Missoula County Attorney Kirsten Pabst said 43-year-old Ralph Lockwood was charged with 2 felonies, arson and criminal mischief.
When they got there, the Missoula Fire Department was already there. Some employees had gone in and actually extinguished the fire, but it was apparent to them as well as the fire chief that the fire was intentionally started using an accelerant.
Pabst said even though only 1 room was damaged, Lockwood put all 18 people who were staying in the motel at the time in danger when he started that fire.
Certainly that's one of the concerns that the statute contemplates in making it a felony when someone is placed in that kind of danger through the actions of another. The law treats that extremely seriously. Arson
carries a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison, up to a $50,000 fine. Lockwood was placed in the Missoula County Jail on $20,000 bond. A man being sought for shooting at 2 people as they walked along a road south of Roundup has surrendered. Muscle Shell County Undersheriff Aaron Edwards told the Billings Gazette 32-year-old Tyler Jack Snyder was arrested Tuesday morning and was being held at the county jail in Roundup. Snyder was being sought after a shooting reported Sunday evening. 1 person was taken to the hospital. Officers say the second victim had not talked with law enforcement but had talked with family members. A 28-year-old Kalispell man was arrested on suspicion of making online threats of violence to schools. Kalispell Police Chief Roger Nassett says the department received information about the threats late Sunday that referenced other incidents of school violence and mentioned a dislike of Jews. No specific schools were named. Investigators learned the man was in an area ski resort on Monday. Flathead County deputies arrested him at about 5 p.m. when he returned to his vehicle. Nassett says David Joseph Lenio was booked into jail Monday on suspicion of malicious intimidation. The Bureau of Transportation Statistics says now the average round-trip fare at the Missoula International Airport is actually lower than the national average. Missoula International Airport Deputy Director Brian Elistad comments.
Well, our airfare for the third quarter actually went below the national average. Just a lot of competition in our market that created lower airfares. It's been a while since we've been below the national average, so that's a nice trend that we've started. The national average for this last quarter was at $395 for a round trip. We were at $368. It's about a 14% reduction.
Elistad said the dip in fares likely driven by the addition of a new low-price carrier.
This was the first quarter that we had a full Frontier Airline data, so that's a low-cost carrier to a hub markets. What's going to be interesting to see what happens. Frontier will be out of the market first quarter of this 2015, but then they come back in May. So we'll see if we dip back up and then if we dip back down again for next summer. So it's kind of an interesting case study.
The drop in price means travelers saved over $7 million altogether. The Missoula Chamber of Commerce presented their 2015 State of Missoula event yesterday at the Doubletree. The first speaker, John Levy, a project manager for the Sonoran Institute based in Tucson, Arizona. Levy's topic was place value, a fresh approach to economic development in the West. He said surveys his group conducted concluded that jobs follow people.
70% of our respondents said that they didn't move to their current community specifically for the purpose of opening a business, but instead they moved to a community that they wanted to live in and started a business at a later time.
Levy says both a pleasant place to live and a business-friendly environment are equally important for economic development.
We view this as a both-and scenario where you need to both do what you can to invest in your community, to invest in your place, to make it be as attractive and alluring as it can be, and do what you can from a policy perspective, from a regulatory perspective, from a taxing perspective to create that business climate that keeps those businesses in your community.
Also speaking, President and CEO of Missoula Economic Partnership James Grunke and Patrick Barkey, Director of the University of Montana Bureau of Business and Economic Research. A new study by the U of M Bureau of Business and Economic Research shows a boom in the state's high-tech sector. The Montana High-Tech Business Alliance commissioned the study to find out how Montana's tech industry was faring. Chairman Greg Gianforte said the results surpassed expectations.
We found that the average wage amongst one of our members is twice the median earnings for a Montana worker, just over $50,000 a year. And the sector, the high-tech businesses and manufacturing businesses, are growing 8 to 10 times faster than the statewide economic growth. So it shows that we are creating high-wage jobs. It's actually greater than we expected.
Most of the businesses surveyed actually located in Missoula, not the city not typically known for its high-tech sector. Gianforte says more growth is expected.
One of the interesting things is the average company that we surveyed, and there were 78 companies that participated in the survey, which is a subset of our membership. They represent $139 million of payroll in the state of Montana, and they expected to grow, on average, 25% this next year. Yeah, that's pretty encouraging.
Madeline Beck with the U of M School of Journalism reports yesterday at the Montana Capitol, legislators joined the national conversation about civil asset forfeiture, or, put simply, police taking money and property before they charge someone. The bill's sponsor, Democratic Representative Kelly McCarthy, is teaming up with Republican Representative Daniel Zolnikov to promote House Bill 463. During the hearing, Representative Zolnikov said police told him they were starting to depend on money from seizing property, making the act more attractive.
They're starting to rely on these funds. That's scary. And they said that to my face. I will not say who, but there is a precedent being set. This is a very big concern.
The bill's opponents, including the Attorney General's office, it could aid drug traffickers. Lewis and Clark County Attorney Leo Gallagher says his area is part of the Missouri River Drug Task Force, and some suspects can't be charged in-state, leaving police no way to confiscate items used for trafficking.
This law says that you can't forfeit something unless the person is convicted. What is occurring in Montana is that those people may be convicted in federal court and not see a state judge, or they may just take off.
No immediate action was taken on the bill, again thanks to Madeline Beck from the University of Montana School of Journalism. News Talk time is 6:10.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Ample sunshine today with our high temperatures warming into the upper 40s and low 50s. Partly cloudy tonight with our lows right around the freezing mark. An isolated shower is possible Thursday. Otherwise, partly sunny with highs right around 50. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.